Fis runs, though. If you guys haven't seen someone with a 40 play before, you're in for a treat. They're off.
I'm fully expecting everybody to fulfill their role as Fis's punching bag throughout the second and third round.
Yeah, definitely.
And the races are off here. They're going to be taking these developer-intended warp barrels through World 1 and 2, which place them at the end of the level.
Yep. So 1 and 2 are pretty straightforward. Nothing too exciting, except for a few levels like the one we're about to see. We're about to see our first wrong warp of the game. Wrong warps are. Well, how do we explain wrong warps? I don't know that anybody knows how to explain them, but by messing with the game's internal IDs, Fist misses the wrong warp. That's surprising.
That's very frustrating.
Yeah, I guess we'll get to talk about those a little bit more later, but the idea is to get an invisible object, and by doing that, you mess with the game's internal IDs and trick it into sending you somewhere else. The difference between a 40 and a 41 is actually substantial. We're talking many, many months and hours of play. Yes, 1 minute, Dustpan.
Couldn't help myself, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And looks like brightwolfz is having a little bit of problem here going for the lockjaw trick.
Yeah.
It's very easy for that barrel to despawn if you go for the jump and it's not high enough.
Yeah, that's definitely a risk. Fis, however, nails it. So for those who don't know, Fis is a Japanese runner who started as a 102 main. For those who don't know, 102 is the 100% category of this, and he hold on, let's see if he gets this one. This is probably the first wrong warp we're gonna see, and just like that, he pulls ahead. Yep. That's probably one of the hardest ones in the game. So yeah, Fis was a 102 runner who came on the scene a couple summers ago, and I remember hearing from him that his goal was to take down Void, who had the only sub 130 at the time, and I remember thinking like, what? Nobody can beat Void, and then Fis did it. He just worked this game like crazy and got really, really good.
Fun fact actually is Akisu beat him to it first, and then Fis did it.
Yep, that's right. That's very true. But I don't know that Fist kind of came out of nowhere to pull that off. But then he's since become one of the best runners and moved on to any percent. And here he is finishing up pretty close world ones.
brightwolfz with a very, very slight lead.
Yep.
Probably about a second. I hope he savors the moment.
Got another wrong warp. Yeah, here's where Fist is going to pull ahead.
Grabs the invisible barrel through busting the clobbers and throws up into the warp barrel, and the game spits him out.
Yep, missed the 2-1 jump. I noticed he was going for it, but that's a tough trick to hit consistently.
Going for the team throw double jump here in Cannon's claim. Nails it with no problem. Both runners. We call that trick the big boy.
So don't we give like some donations to read or something right now? This is
or something. Spike, do we have any donations? No, I don't think he can hear me.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Now these two are quite close coming into World 1, coming into World 2.
I'll be interested to see how the cleaver fight goes. I would expect Fist to do a little better, but brightwolfz, nothing to laugh at over there. He's got a 46. That's a strong time.
It's very true.
A couple mistakes, and it could stay a close race the whole way through.
Well, for Fist, a couple of mistakes, and he'll get a 42.
Yeah, that's true.
The reason they're able to swap goalposts, the reason they're able to finish the goalpost so quickly is because they're shot out of a barrel when they take these warps, and it keeps them in an airborne state. So all they have to do is just press select.
Right. The idea is then, since you're backup Kong, the game thinks that Kong is airborne. By pressing select when they're on the goal, they immediately hit the target. If you were to jump, I believe it would take away that airborne state once you hit the ground again. So Cleaver has a tiny bit of RNG based on where the cannonball spawns. It's possible to have it land so close that you hit him the second you pick it up. And that's going to be the goal here in the second half of the fight, is to time the the cannonball spawns such that the instant you pick them up, you hit cleaver. No problem with lava fly for Fizz. Let's see if Bright gets it. Oh, slips on the lava fly. That's a pretty easy mistake to make. There you saw he hit cleaver right away with that drop cannonball. So slipping on lava, so lava fly is a trick where basically you want to buffer a jump. So as you're gliding across, you want to hold the B button right before you land and make sure you're not pressing any directional buttons. So there's kind of three parts to it. You have to get a high enough jump so that you make it all the way across. Then you have to not be pressing directional buttons so the game doesn't register movement on the slope. And then you have to have B pressed to get that jump going. And there Bright hits it, no problem.
Did he fail it the first time? Sorry, my internet cut out.
Yes, he did. He missed it the first time.
That's a good minute lost.
It is, yeah. It's like most tricks in this game, it's lose a minute to save 4 seconds or worse.
Or less even.
Yeah.
One of the stages in this world that Fizz is currently on, Crockhead Clamber, I'm sorry.
Clamber.
That's the one. Is every roll that you take off of an alligator will save about 0.3 seconds, but can't kill you.
Yes, exactly.
So it looks slower for Fizz to be throwing into these barrels here, but he's actually storing up a glitch called the super jump, which he's going to exploit on this cloak right here.
No, G! Oh, man.
Ow. Where's
the swag? But anyway, now we're into the game. Now we can actually see some platforming. World 3 is frustrating and fun at the same time. There's some neat platforming, but it's tricky. There's lots and lots of places you can die, and usually in this game, most of your resets are going to come in Worlds 1 and 2 because it's just so low cost as far as time investment. So a lot of the times you get to World 3, you think you're going to have a run, and then something bad happens, and you reset again, and you get mad.
Right.
Pretty smooth glimmers so far here.
I was just on a run earlier before this, actually, and I was about 10 seconds behind my personal best, and then I ran into Rattle Battle, so...
yes. Another miss G. Oh, man. Well, successful super jumps from both, at least. That's not necessarily a guarantee.
And right now, they're roughly 45 seconds apart, which could the gap could get closed very quickly, especially in this world.
Mikhail's calling us out for not talking about Fizz's flying ditty. For the record, I was trying to see if Bright got lava fly on the second time, so I did miss the flying ditty, which is as swag as it gets. So apologies to Fizz.
And for the record, my internet cut out, so I didn't see anything. And Fist makes it out of Glimmer's Galleon with no trouble.
Yep.
Coming on to the first real run killer of the game, Crockhead Clamber. Or as we in the community call it, Crackhead.
Crackhead.
Like those rolls that Fist takes going from the gaps. They save very minimal time, but if not executed properly, you will fall in between them.
Timing your rolls off of the crockheads is kind of tricky too. You want to be towards the right. I think of it as like towards the eyes of the crocs. Just taking some safe strats through there to try to, I think, just not die. As we were saying, any one of these croc rolls can kill you.
Exactly.
These rolls at the end are particularly tricky, but he gets them no problem. Well, little hang up, but no problem. Not really a time loss.
A little bit of a sticky read there. And they're about a stage apart now. And the infamous Rattle Battle stage.
Some of the best music in the game, certainly.
Oh, wholeheartedly agree. Some of the best platforming, too, if you can really nail the level properly.
I agree. I got a little grief last night for saying that I thought this was one of the most fun stages in the game, but it really is fun. Just the fact that it can kill you really easily doesn't take that away from me. I think the trick with Ratley in this stage is he moves very slowly along the ground, but if you're in the air, he moves fairly quickly. So what they're trying to do is minimize the amount of time spent on the ground by having jumps that are the right distance and the right height. So he knows basically where every enemy is and how high and how far he has to jump on each one of these in order to move through the stage really quickly. And I mean, Fist is just giving us a clinic here, showing us how it's done.
He really
Until
is.
then, little missed bounce at the end, but pretty good other than that. Nocturne, yes, it is a jerk pretty often. So we got another wrong warp coming up here. You want to talk about the super jump here?
Well, the super jump is performed by swapping Kongs while one of them is in the water and one of them is not. It stores the glitch where the next time you take damage, the Kong behind you is going to get thrusted upwards. And the point is that we're trying to get up to this point, grab another Kong, and clash these two beetles, fall, and throw at a very precise location above the bonus barrel. Hopefully, it'll shoot him out of the level. It's one of the more devastating wrong warps to fail.
True. Fist, however, unlike most of us, wouldn't have... I mean, he would lose time if he missed it, but because of his experience with 102, he knows how to do the rest of the stage with no problem.
Right, there is another super jump that you can perform.
There's another one. Another thing, the reason that works is because when you do the super jump, it actually moves you past the trigger that causes the water to load. Because normally the slime water snapjaw guy follows you all the way up. But by skipping that trigger point, you're able to cause the water not to load, which allows you to fall down to the barrel with the invisible object.
Right. And Fist making very short work of the quick shots here in the maze and Bramble Blast.
We'll
Coming
try
up
and find it soon.
Yeah.
No problem on the super jump for Brightwolf.
Yes, it's important that you load the beetles in the correct order. Because you could perform the clash properly, you could perform the super jump properly. But, oh, and he nails it.
Yep. Yeah, to Dust's point, it's very easy to get the wrong warp consistent, so you have the beetles loaded at the right time. But there are faster ways to do it. I think, what do they call it? Drum climb is a way that a runner named after a Japanese runner named Drum, who
Drum Slime, yes.
Drum Slime, that's the one. Where you can go. Ooh, interesting damage there. That's gonna have to. Sorry, yeah. Brightwolf taking damage there is gonna slow him down because he won't be able to do a damage boost later. See how he handles it. But yeah, so Drum Slime is a way of going through Slime Climb faster, climbing up the ropes, but it increases your risk of messing up the IDs and then not being able to do the wrong warp. Let's see if he goes for Vine Clip. Not a lot to say about Cudgel. The quick kill saves about 2 seconds by timing the amount of Dixie's breaths that she does. So if you watch Dixie closely when he picks up the barrel, you're going to see her bob up and down. He's going to count about 3 here and then move and throw backwards to be able to hit Cudgel. Saves a little bit of time. This is one of the last tricks I bothered to learn because it's really illustrative of the point that tricks in this game either save you minimal time or lose you a ton. And any cycle he drops here is going to lose him about 10 seconds. And if you're not well practiced at this, it's pretty easy to drop those cycles. Ooh, Bright with the Dixie guitar thing. Anytime you get an unwanted goal celebration, you're kicking yourself.
And Hornet Hole coming up now for Feast. One of my personal favorite levels. Very, very tricky to optimize, only because of these climbing on the honey. You can lose a lot of time just by getting stuck.
Yeah, honey jumping is an underratedly difficult mechanic. Fist making it look easy, but it's very easy to get stuck there. Timing the jumps away is tricky, and to do it consistently is non-trivial. Yeah, it's not over yet. If Fist has mistakes, then I mean, Bright can definitely still catch up. I mean, he's going to have to play very, very well to catch Fist, but it's not. It's definitely not over. There's plenty of opportunities for mistake.
Yes, especially with the upcoming wrong warp.
Yep.
Bramble Scramble. Both of them, yes. I forgot about Mudhole Marsh.
Yep.
I forget that one is involved in this one. most of the time.
Now, if he drops cycles on Cudgel, it's going to make it a little bit harder, though. This is where I was saying
Right.
about the 10-second loss.
Fist moving up to the first auto-scroller of the game. You want to talk about the tech of the roller coaster here?
Yeah, roller coaster. This level in particular doesn't have too much. I can't remember if in this stage of jumping up and down slopes saves time. I never learned about this. I think it does.
This stage, jumping does not save time.
It does not. Okay, that's just the next one.
Because it's just the monkey jumping up.
The monkey's leaving. That's what I thought. This is the one that doesn't. We'll talk. It's different in each of the auto scrollers whether jumping saves time or not, and jumping up and down slopes saves time differently too. But the biggest tech in this stage you're about to see Fizz do here is he's going to try to skip over a dragonfly right before the warp barrel. And there it goes. So that saves a little bit of time. It's really easy to do, but it's a little scary to learn because you have to jump later than you want to. You start to fall off the edge and jump after that, but once you learn it, it's something you can do every time. And I mean, you're talking maybe save a half a second over the course of the whole stage, but hey, it's when you're on auto scroller, you take what you can get.
Right, there's 2 flitter skips in the stage actually, and they equal about 0.2 seconds saved on each, I think is what Void was telling me yesterday.
Yep, that's correct.
So,
yes, Nocturne makes a good point. Jumping as soon as possible is also, like, making sure you can get to the next cart ASAP is also a time save.
Right, and brightwolfz nailing the scrolly scroll.
And we got ourselves some swag.
Fist banking the swag points here.
So he's got Flying Diddy, Swag Balloon, no G though.
Moving up to the Bramble Scramble Wrong Warp, or as we in the community call it, Brambler. It was it's the most recent wrong warp discovered, I believe.
Yeah, it is, and it's also the hardest.
Right,
arguably.
That clash there that Feast did, very, very difficult.
Making it look easy. Try to explain a little bit what well, we're in 2 auto scrollers here. So in the one that Feast is coming into now is jumping down slopes will save time, so look for that. But the way that the Brambler Wrong Warp works is you need to jump up the vine quickly to make sure that you get the beetle and the invincibility barrel to spawn before the hook thrown by the crook despawns. So that's just step 1. Then you have to jump on the beetle, get hit with Diddy, get invincibility so you can stand on the brambles. Then you grab the beetle and make sure you go jump at just the right time to get to the corner of the vines, throw and re-grab the beetle as quickly as possible, make sure the beetle dies, and then get back up top and run over to the invincibility barrel with the correct movement to make sure you don't screw up the IDs and throw to the left.
Could you talk about that again, please? I was trying to write it down and I missed it.
DKCSpeedruns.com.
Exactly. Well, I'm going to drop the link in the chat here.
Yeah, all this stuff is very well documented on DKCSpeedruns.com. Some tricks more than others, but for the most part, it's very accessible. You came in fairly recently, I think, Dustpan, and so you've used most of the up-to-date wiki stuff to learn and drive your time down low pretty quick.
Yeah. It helps, though, that I had very high-tier players like Kipples and Void and Canis talking in my ear as I was doing runs, giving me little tips and strategies here and there.
Yep.
So it's a 50-50 thing. It's half of the work that the community has done before and half of the community helping out new runners nowadays. Yep. I've only been running the game for about I don't know, 6 months or so.
Yeah, and with the 44 already, that's very, very good progress.
It's not enough to beat Eason, I'll tell you that much.
Now, Eason's particularly gifted. And meanwhile, Fizz is doing one of the hardest platformers in the game in Mudhole. And right there, brightwolfz shows us just how hard that clash is to get.
Right, it's very, very specific.
Another very specific and finicky wrong warp coming up here for Fizz.
Nails the clash, spawns the flower, picks up the cannonball, and he's out of there.
Movement is very precise on that. If you have the camera even slightly off, you're going to miss it.
Oh, brightwolfz, unfortunately not picking up the beetle.
Good choice to go jump in the hole, though.
Right, probably faster.
So we've got another big boy here. We mentioned that back in 2-1. and he skips a big chunk of the level by doing that. So Big Boy is a team throw double jump. The way that works is when you throw your Kong at an enemy and press B while they're coming back to you after hitting the enemy, you get this boosted super jump, which is I don't know why that happens. Okay, he's got the clash.
Up to the barrel. Oh no, his IDs were wrong.
IDs wrong. So that, and again, as I mentioned earlier, you have to get up the rope quickly enough, and then your movement has to be correct. That's what happens when so when we say IDs, the way that these games are programmed is every object in the game that you can interact with has an ID that in memory that represents that object. And by getting invisible objects, you trick the game into thinking you have an object that isn't there. So that's what we say when we mean the IDs are messed up. So when he's got this invisible object here, the game thinks he's trying to throw the warp barrel. Oh, once again. But by trying to throw the warp barrel, the game doesn't know what to do. So in the 1.1 version of this game, when you get in that state, the game runs the code that exits the level and causes it to be complete.
Right, it gives you credit for completing the level, but if you were to re-enter the level and try to start and select out, it won't let you.
Correct. Yep, that's why you'll never see that in 102. Also, percentages.
Trying again.
Details.
brightwolfz nails it.
Well done, Bright.
70 units. Here, Fis is on the final phase of King Zing Sting.
Now, at this point, I would say it'd be unlikely to see a comeback from Bright. Brambler was probably the biggest equalizer, unless Fis has a horrific Webwoods or something, which I wouldn't expect from him.
We've had some very interesting Webwoods in these tournaments. We had El Magus hit the Webwood Infinite. We had Kolthor the Barbarian hit the Webwoods Infinite.
Oh yeah, that level can get you. That's a level that has many levels are like this, but Webwoods in particular, no matter how good you get at this game, the level gets harder with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can. I mean, it's really hard if you're just starting, and when you're really good and know what you're doing, it's still really hard.
And Fis nails the wiggle that was demonstrated and showcased in the newest TAS, to elicit a speed run.
So that's confirmed faster than the wiggle there, even in any percent.
It doesn't save any time.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it to. In 102, it saves a little bit because it lets you roll under the platform a lot more quickly to get the DK coin under there. So it doesn't surprise me that Fis goes for that at all, as someone who's so experienced with 102.
Oh, I go for it.
Well, you should, yeah.
It takes the safe route to despawn the cloak. There's a couple of things you can do. You can either roll under the rope, grab it on the left side, and jump off very quickly, or jump off of it on the right side. But the safest way, of course, is to just scroll the cloak off screen and despawn him.
Yeah, even scrolling him off screen is still very fast. He's not sacrificing a lot there.
I don't think Fis knows how to go slow.
No, he doesn't. Safety strats are still fast.
And here's our final auto-scroller of the game. No, this is the second last auto-scroller. I forgot about Castle Crush.
Yes.
Haunted
Castle
Hall.
Crush is different.
Yeah, Haunted Hall, actually. This is a level where you want to jump up and down all slopes, all
Correct.
Large slopes.
Yep, small slopes don't save either much or any time, I believe.
No, and you have to make sure you're jumping through the gates as well. It preserves your momentum a little bit longer.
Yep. So jumping hitting the gate at the highest point is the goal here. So here we got Mudhole coming up here for Bright. Let's see what happens. Ooh, interesting setup. Oh, the Dixie setup. Okay, good choice. Dixie. Good choice. Dixie is about 4 to 5 seconds slower, but much more consistent. And he gets it, no problem. I think it's not really worth going for Diddy, I think, until you have maybe 45 or better. Of course, people do what they want to do, but in general, I think it's good to get better at consistent movement before you start going for time saves on the order of seconds.
Oh, brightwolfz not having a good time going for the big boy, has to go back for another Kong.
Yep, when you have to team throw, you do need 2 Kongs.
Here he comes. Nails it.
No problem.
Very, very frustrating trick to fail.
Yeah, it is.
You have to go all the way around, and this is one of the few instances where the backup trick of rolling off the edge and clipping onto the honey is actually much harder. than
There
the
is
decoy itself.
there is another backup where you can do a team throw damage boost to get a super jump up to another hook, but it is still slower.
Right.
Oh, nope. Gets the chest skip. Very nicely done, Fis.
Fis on 41 pace.
Mhm.
This level, Gusty Glade, actually introduces the wind mechanic.
Mhm.
It's triggered by your horizontal position throughout the stage, your X coordinate, I believe, and wherever you are, it can either push you forwards, coming from the left to the right, or slow you down by blowing from the right to the left. So this is truly the definition of the game trying to kill you, as if it needs help. Honestly.
Yeah, I think Gusty is one of my most favorite stages in the game. It's tricky, but it's really, really fun to do fast. And it's probably because the wind just makes your speed so much faster. And now we get to Parrot Shoot Panic, which is one of the most well-known stages in DKC2 speedrunning. Most everybody who's played this remembers this stage being just incredibly frustrating as a kid, with the parrots, which are, interesting. I've actually never seen that backup before, but we don't take the parrot, we just fall down, and it looks really cool.
Right, it's very fast, very precise movements between floating and jumping out of your floats, fluttering down, making sure you land your headbutts, buffering jumps. It's that last section that Fis just did actually is one of the hardest parts of the level.
Yep.
Nailing the headbutt, just has to go right and then left, and then he's free.
And he's done.
There he goes. So it's actually one of the last levels I learned. Parachute Panic.
I didn't even bother to learn it. I kind of did the opposite. When I was first learning the game, I was like, I'm gonna have to learn this either way. I could either learn it with the parrot, then learn it again later without, or just learn it without. So I sat down with the wiki we mentioned earlier and just went phase by phase and learned it. So Webwoods, as we mentioned here, this stage is this the first time we see Squitter in any percent? It is, isn't it?
In any percent, yes,
That's crazy.
No, we don't. We see him in Hornet Hole.
Hornet Hall, of course, yeah, just to set up the scrolly scroll, but we don't really use him there. This is really Squitter's major platforming level at any percent. And so what he's doing here is he's pressing the L and R buttons at the same time to make the web platform instantly. So he's timing those platforms and where he jumps off of them to get off or through the across the pits as quickly as he possibly can. The next pit coming up here is something we affectionately call the Eagle Pit for some reason, because those are not eagles, they're vultures.
They're vultures.
But we call it the Eagle Pit, and he gets across with no trouble at all. The other thing that's interesting to point out here is these damage boosts. When you are an animal buddy, most commonly Squitter or Rattly, and you take a hit, you can actually jump again shortly thereafter. So you've got like a brief moment where the game accepts input. So we use that to take big jumps across, take damage, then jump again and do an instant platform. And that was a very clean Webwoods.
Yes. I believe it's 6 frames you have to perform the boost.
Is it that short?
Yeah. Well, I mean, 6 frames in a speedrunning context.
I guess that's a tenth of a second. That sounds about right.
Right.
It feels like more time to me to do that now. I guess I've played this too much.
No such thing. Moving on to the second phase of Creepy Crow. He throws these fake crows at you, with one real crow. And
they're also not crows. They're definitely vultures.
They're crows. They're eagles. They're whatever you want.
Whatever they are. We've got like 4 eagle pits in this game, and like none of them.
They're birds.
They're birds. They're jerks.
We can agree on that. Yes.
Sorry, I totally cut off what you were saying. That's an interesting boss. There's lots going on.
Yeah, it's the second last instance of RNG in the game, depending on which side the barrels spawn on after you kill the real bird.
Yep. So you can lose a surprising amount of time. Now let's watch Fis Arctic here, because I have a feeling we're going to see something special.
Right, Arctic, one of the most difficult levels in the game.
Absolutely. It's surprisingly difficult. All the water stages are. Ooh, little hang up there on the wall.
Seems to make it out all right.
And he got the despawn.
Let's pay attention to brightwolfz here a little bit. We seem to be neglecting him. He's coming into Gusty Glade right now. Seems to be doing all right, just chugging along there.
Yeah, ever since Brambler, he's been coming just fine along here, and goes for grabbing the treasure chest. That's what I do. It's a little bit slower, but a little bit safer.
Right. I do that strat as well. I grab it from the bottom, but I roll out of hitting the spiny.
Yes.
It's a little bit faster, and it keeps your roll going, so you can jump in a bit.
Canis, birds are more than jerks. They're arbiters of the apocalypse.
Yo, I couldn't have put it better myself.
Well said, sir. Ooh, interesting. Kept it Kong, though, so that worked.
Right. This is just another example of...
Hey, we got double wind going here.
Yeah. Example of the game just trying to kill you with its wind.
Yep.
Windy Well is another instance of wind, but the wind blows up, and only up, propelling your Kong upwards.
There's a couple skips that you can do here. So the interesting thing about Windy Well is that it's kind of an auto-scroller, and that you can't really do a lot to make yourself go faster, but it's tricky in that there are things you can skip, so you can actually get to some platforms sooner than you otherwise would. An example is coming up right here. He's going to go to the left under these bees instead of to the right like the game kind of wants you to. So there's little minor things like that and a couple damage boosts that can be used to save time. And meanwhile, brightwolfz over in PCP.
Wonder if he's going to do any damage strats. No, looks like yeah,
Damage
he is
there,
going to be doing looks like he's going to be doing the 3 damage boost route. Which is the beginner route.
Yep, which makes a good point. There are a few different routes to go through PCP, so you don't just have to be like doing the crazy stuff that you saw Feast doing. There's a lot of ways to get through it, some of which are maybe anywhere 5 to 10 seconds slower, but are still going to help you get through.
Right, and it looks like he's falling right near the end, and he's out of the level. Very well done. Sorry, we were not paying attention. Did Fist get ghetto bees? I'm sure he did.
I assume he did. Yes, McGill confirms.
Yes. Thank you, McGill.
Yeah, Feast had just some minor movement errors, nothing significant.
Well, here we have the level we were talking about earlier, the final auto-scroller of the game. Castle Crush.
Yep.
Feast is about to hold on to this barrel, and he is holding his run in this barrel right now. There's a small glitch we're going to perform that's going to bring the goalpost down to where you perform the glitch.
Yeah, this is another crazy thing. I still have not seen anybody explain why this is about to work. Right.
I don't think anybody can.
Yeah. There's a barrel in this level. Oh, so the only thing Feast missed was he missed the main brace mayhem wrong warp, which is not a major loss.
Not even a little bit. It's one of the wrong warps that only saves 4 seconds, if that, maybe 3, over the traditional rolling under the level to get the warp barrel. Same with the 2-1 wrong warp, actually.
Yep.
The two of them are equal about 8-9 seconds.
Which again, I wouldn't recommend necessarily that new runners take the time to learn any of the wrong warps in Worlds 1 or 2 until they have mid to low 40.
Feast nailing the glitch.
That glitch looks a lot more impressive than it actually is to execute.
Right, you put down the barrel and pick it up, and the barrel breaks, and you beat the level.
Now it can throw you off when you're first learning if you're not sure where your position is. The game not only loads the end goal on top of you, it loads the entire top of the level on top of you. So if you're mispositioned, you could end up inside of a wall, and then the game will kill you. Right. As Dustpan has been saying, that's the game just trying to kill you.
Does not need an excuse.
The
game will just say, okay, you're dead now.
Yep, we did notice that Bright died a couple times, struggling with Webwoods a little bit.
It's a very, very tricky stage, and he seems to be taking it a little bit safely, though. Even the safe strats through this level can kill you if they want to.
As I said earlier, the better you get, the harder the level gets. It does not get easier with skill.
Coming on to Creepy Crow now for brightwolfz. Hopefully he's a little kinder with his RNG. Sorry, Creepy Vulture.
Creepy Vulture. That's weird. His name actually is Crow in the game, so I mean, we're not just being stupid. Yeah. Birds are jerks.
Fis about to perform the final wrong warp in the game, Chain Link Chamber. Another very finicky one where a lot can go wrong. And of course he puts a clinic on. Moving on to Toxic Tower. The showcasing all three of the 4 animal buddies of the stage of the game.
Animal Antics Jr. much harder than Animal Antics though.
Never learned Animal Antics right now, although 102 is on my
yeah,
list of things to do.
You got somewhere with that, weren't you? Into World 2 with your work on that a little further?
3 actually. I learned at a Black Ice Battle. Right up to Black Ice Battle, and then I guess I went Super Saiyan and decided, hey, let's do 90%.
Another loss on
those
Dixie ropes. Dixie ropes. So what happened to Bright there is this game is, and all the Donkey games are all about Kong management. If you have the wrong Kong, that's weird, the wrong Kong in front at any given time, you don't necessarily know how to move with them. You do all your practice like with the correct Kong, so when you end up in a different situation, you kind of have to adapt on the fly. So those ropes are an example. He was planning to do that with Diddy, but since he was hit, he had to try with Dixie. And we actually have a name for it, being Dixie ropes, because it happens pretty often when you get hit in this boss, and it's never easy.
Right. I actually feel more comfortable doing Dixie ropes in this boss than Diddy ropes. I find very easy to blow a tire as with Diddy ropes.
Yeah.
Just climb too fast and take a header.
Face going under the B there. That's a difficult but faster strat. Well played, sir.
You're going to see definitely a casual 41 coming from Fis.
His Toxic was not the smoothest Toxic either, so he's capable of doing that much more quickly than he just did. So to see what he's about to pull off with some of the mistakes he's had is really impressive.
Brightwolfz finishing off Vulture 2, moving on to World 6.
Vulture 2, love it.
You created a new meme. You're gonna have to live with it.
Oh. Is he going for the jump?
No, we've seen one instance of the jump in this tournament, and that was from Luke yesterday.
Oh, Luke did it. Well done, Luke.
Yes, he did about a half jump though. He had a little issues with the ropes at the end.
So only one you. Oh, interesting.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
That surprised me. He must have jumped right before he got hit there, because if he was in the cartwheel, he wouldn't have died there.
Yeah, usually if you bowl through that crow, you'll just blow right through him and land on the brambles below.
Darn eagles!
Well, they're not parrots. We know that much.
They're not parrots.
We've seen 2 parrots.
See, there he gets it. No problem. That was just that's just one of those fluky things. Like, I don't think he made a mistake there. It just, well, I mean, it was, but it's not like he really made any major mental error. Just he missed it by a couple frames.
Arctic Abyss giving Brightwolfz a little bit of a hard time here. Those puffers can be in the starfish very difficult to hit, as On Guard's hitbox in Donkey Kong Country.
I hate the fish so much. I hate the fish. The fish is terrible. I don't even call him his name. He's the fish, and he's a jerk. Ooh, nice ring skip there.
Trying up the 3rd time. Those starfish really taking advantage of the questionable hitbox on the quote-unquote fish. The steak, I guess, from a chef's perspective.
Fish is such a bigger jerk than any birds in this game.
You're not wrong.
And Guard does have a cute face. Look at his face. Look at those eyes. Big old cute eyes. But he's a jerk. He's terrible.
This does whatever he wants. Coming up onto K. Rool now. One of the it's very easy to fall asleep on this boss. He's cycle based and like it can get a little boring. But
so
you need to be paying attention.
The only major tech here is that he's going to try to have the timing for the throws memorized. So he's going to try to throw the cannonballs as quickly as possible. The goal being to hit K. Rool's gun before any of those little white dust sprites show up.
Oh, unfortunately falling all the way down the shaft.
Yeah.
It's, brightwolfz. Trying to go for one of those skips with only one Kong.
No Nocturne, he's still terrible at DKC3 because the levels they put him in have those urchins. The fish is always terrible. But yeah, Twig said it best in SGDQ 2014, I believe, about the final fight is effectively just a glorified cutscene. Once you've done it a few times, you pretty much know what you're in for. It can kill you, as Dust said, if you're not paying attention. So don't re-chat during that boss. But
Never re-chat.
Just don't re-chat ever. That's my advice to new runners and streamers. Just don't
Offline runs. Offline runs until you got the Twig, and then you can start reading chat. I'm making it halfway now. I wonder if he's going to go for the... yeah, he's going for the B skip. He gets it. In 102, actually, the Windy Well is actually one of the more punishing levels to do. If you miss, I believe it's the
first bonus.
Right. Yeah, you have to kill yourself and just start the level over.
Well, that's a version of Blue Diddy, I suppose.
Yep. It's still safe to take that blue cloud all the way at the end.
It does cost time, though.
Right. Actually, I don't think getting hit at the end there costs any time because he starts moving. Even if you do get hit, although I could be wrong. The TAS actually takes damage.
Does it? Okay, it must
right
not.
In front. Yeah, right in front of the gun and mashes out of it right before K. Rool starts moving. But he doesn't waste any time.
Got it.
Brightwolf is now about to attempt the Castle Crust glitch with Dixie on his shoulders. I wonder what he's doing here.
Nice team throw.
One of the other techs in this game actually is lag management. And one of these strategies is to pick up that barrel. What is he doing?
He was trying to be silly, I think. And
trying to be a little too cute there, I think.
Like the fish, but it ends up being a jerk. And 42.06, almost a 41 from Feast. I know he's not going to be happy with that time, but still the best run yet of the tournament. I don't think we've seen a 42.06 yet, so very, very well done. Ooh, and he forgot to get Dixie again. He entered the stage too quickly.
What was Kipple's time again? I'm sorry?
Kipple's had a 42.36, I believe.
So we do in fact have a new race world record.
Yeah,
our new tournament world record, I should say.
My tournament record didn't stand for very long. But with Eason, Kipples, and Fist today, I figured I didn't have much chance to hold that. GG Fist indeed.
Yes,
this moves on to round 3.
And I do have the brackets open right now, so he will be facing... Where are you, Face? Where are you here? Oh, he will be facing the winner of Nocturne and Blunt Bunny.
Nocturne and Blunt Bunny.
Yes,
you ready, Nocturne?
I see you in there. Very good race in itself.
That actually is a very interesting race, yeah.
Two very talented runners of the game. Nocturne having top times in almost all 3 games, I believe.
Interestingly enough, 2 of the best Donkey Kong Country 3 runners, both of whom will be competing against each other in the DKC Trilogy relay race at the upcoming AGDQ.
Well, Blunt Bunny is actually a backup for that game. He's not.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. That's right. He was one of our original submissions, but then Suzuri, at the last minute, said he was interested, and that's. I'm sorry. I totally Apologies to Suzuri.
I'm sure he forgives you wherever he is.
Sure. Wherever he is, I'm sure he's watching right now.
For the 3rd time now, Brightwolf's coming into Castle Crush, hoping to put this level behind him. It's very, very frustrating.
It is,
to fail this glitch. It's such a devastating time loss.
The hardest thing about this isn't the glitch itself, it's getting the barrel up to the top with 2 Kongs. So you can see that a little bit here from what happened for Bright. And then if you do fail it, it's very easy to be just in the mode of, oh, I died, I have to get back in the stage. But if you do that with without going back and getting a Kong again, you're going to have to kill yourself and go get one anyway. And so usually that time loss turns into more time loss.
It's easy to lose your head. Very easy. Coming up to the gauntlets now, brightwolfz, hoping to put this run behind him. Move on.
What time did he have in the first round?
brightwolfz? Stand by. I believe his opponent was...
he had a 47 in the first round.
Oh, okay.
47 even. So yeah, he's not going to be happy with this run. But hey, you know, it happens. It happens to the best of us.
Sometimes the game wants you to win. Who are we kidding? That never happens.
The game never wants you to win. That's silliness.
Having a little bit of an issue with the throw your girlfriend tech. He decided to be a gentleman.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's just being a little too nice there.
Let's see how he does with chain link chamber.
Yeah, he's about plus 4 minutes on his splits right now, which really just goes to show you how unforgiving so many of the tricks in this game can be. Is he had a lot of mistakes that cost a lot of time. Like it wasn't just bad movement. He's had good movement in general throughout most of this. It's just that the things he's missed, like whether it be Brambler or Castle Crush or Web Woods, are just extremely costly time loss. And somehow that didn't work for CLC. I don't know what happened there.
Well, I think he did the safer strat. Tried to do a mix of them where if you are able to get a jump off of the clobber and you do get the invis, you do have to walk left up to a little visual cue and then walk right. Yeah, he did not do that.
So fortunately, it's not actually too bad of a time loss. This one's maybe a 20-second loss for each time you miss it. So it's not as unforgiving as maybe Brambler is. He's waiting a little bit longer there to make sure he gets it. Again, it's all about IDs and what the camera has scrolled onto the screen. Let's see what he can bring with Toxic. Welcome to bonus game.
You must have gotten really tired of hearing that in your DK64 playthrough.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Some of the bonus games were kind of terrible, but I'm glad I played it. So
it's a must play.
It is, yeah.
He's exhibiting a little bit of the tech that the snake can offer, doing short hop double jumps.
Yeah, we didn't really explain double jumps while Fist was doing this, but Ratley can do something called double jumps, which basically he can charge while jumping and then jump again out of his charge. So you see some of that. Right there was a good example. He's taking some of these safe, some of them with the double jumps, but there's a few ways to do that. Again, DKCSpeedruns.com has some good help. My opinion on Beaver Bother.
Please don't.
I actually, it was frustrating, but I got it maybe relatively quickly.
Yeah, the game liked you that day then.
Yeah, it was. I definitely made gradual improvement, but I definitely consulted the internet for help.
Oh, it's impossible because sometimes the beavers just don't want to go into the center. Sometimes they'll just...
That's true. Yeah, sometimes you're just not going to get it that day.
Right, but that's a different game. We're not...
That's a different game. We're not playing that game on purpose. We're not playing that game. I saw that picture you had on Twitter of that game on the floor.
I'm not ashamed to say I own it. It's one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorites. Well, these guys said he wanted a place...
Very nice.
These guys saying he wanted a place to live now that certain events have taken place, so I offered him that chair that my cat sleeps on.
It's a good spot.
Yeah, he just has to move the DK64 cartridge, that's all. Alright, coming up now to World 7.
I definitely don't hate Beaver Bother as much as I hate the fish.
Trying to do some math in a no math category here, and it looks like he's on 53 pace now.
Yeah, Canary Mary is the most jerk bird of all. 53 is, I mean, that's not bad. He shouldn't be upset with himself too much here.
No, a lot of the things were out of his control. He executed the game to the best that he could, as far as I understood, except for the game just not wanting him to go. Like what happened in Bramble Scramble and Castle Crush. And it seems like he lost his footing a little bit there. Takes
I
the
think
half away.
some mental errors and some nerves are kind of what got to him, but
Right.
that can happen. Starts
Actually,
fluttering a little early there. You wanna ride the speed from the barrel up a little further than that.
takes
I would,
damage
if I
on the
was him,
top.
I would go get the Kong there
Yes,
as well.
I would as well. I did in my race because I did the exact same thing.
I had
squeezing
my
through
most
there.
recent PB. I got hit early, but I didn't go get that because I if I had, I wouldn't have PB'd. So it was either I'm gonna die and lose a minute, I'm gonna miss the PB if I do get it. So, and I ended up getting the PB, so that was pretty good.
All right, what's your time now?
42:35. I'm hoping by the time this tournament's over, I can get that to a 41. But to whoever was asking earlier about the difference between a 41 and a 40, if I do pull off that 41, the difference for me would be, like I said, several months of a lot of dedicated work to drive it down that extra minute. The diminishing returns really start to kick in once you're at the 42, 41 level.
It's a commitment. It absolutely is.
You can, I mean, I think anybody could probably get a 42 or even a 41 if they really put their mind to it, but it starts to take a special kind of dedication and skill, I think, to drive it down that extra minute. .42 is basically strong movement throughout the game with no major mistakes, and then 41 is doing it even faster. But then I don't even begin to understand where the time saves come in for a 40.
No, I don't know either. But by the time when I hit my 44, and it was deathless, by the way, my PB.
Well done. That's hard to do.
I'm looking over my run again, and I'm thinking, where do I save 4 minutes?
Yeah, you'll get there.
Yeah, I'm hoping before my second round match against Eason, I can bring my PB down to.
Oh, you've got Eason next.
Yep.
Good luck. Take him out, man.
I don't want to give him an easy run. I really don't. I'm trying really hard.
It. I'm liking the team throw strats here against K. Rool.
He's taking it very safe. He does not want to fight this again. It's very easy to lose your footing in this stage, as I said earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Alex talking more about the time, the whole noticing your time saves and how can I save more time? What can I do better? And it makes me think of this practice plan that Canis suggested in chat the other day in the Discord of doing a bunch of ILs for a long time. So working on individual levels to try to get whatever tech you're going for down. And you don't have to go try to master them. Just pick those 1 or 2 things that you want to improve and then work on them and get to the point where you can consistently do them through levels. And then he suggested you do no reset runs for a long time to really try to work that new tech that you've done in your ILs into your runs. And by doing them Blue Diddy, thank you, brightwolfz, the hero we all need. Yeah, working that new tech into no reset runs so you get used to doing them as part of a full game, and then after that, really trying for those PBs. And I thought that was a really strong plan. I'm so happy we have some blue monkey action here to end this race. Oh yes, and more girlfriend abuse, of course. We didn't call that out, but it did happen. Yeah, very similar to Mitch. And we didn't really talk about it with Fizz at the end, but to finish off K. Rool here, if you just run to the left, you'll do it every time. They're doing something a little different, but with the hit, and he's okay. Maybe, yes. Should be a 53. Yep. All right, well done. Well, congratulations to both Fis and brightwolfz, who will be, as we said, Fis will be taking on the winner of Nocturne versus Blunt, and I believe that drops brightwolfz down. What is that, game 47? Who will he be? He'll be facing D Sky next. And I think we might have lost Dust again.
Nope, Dustin's
Nope,
here.
you're there.
He forgot that his mic was off again.
Oh, it sounded a little less like there was somebody on the other side of this thing.
I'll get used to this commentary thing before the end of the tournament. I promise.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get one of our runners in here for a little chit chat. I understand Fis is not the most proficient at English, so we'll try not to get him in here.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll see if I can perform the ritual and get brightwolfz in here.
Gotta have the post-game interview.
So far, I have not been disappointed by any of the races that I've seen here.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun game. It's a fun game to watch, and it's a very fun game to race, which, I mean, makes me even more excited for the relay we'll have at AGDQ.
Right. You certainly put a lot of effort into corralling everybody to get their things together and submit things on time, and so I'm really looking forward to this. Unfortunately, I will not be able to attend AGDQ this year. It's not in the budget, but I figure this little tournament here is the next best thing for me.
Yep, definitely. This is definitely building some of that excitement for me.
And we have brightwolfz on the line here. Hi, brightwolfz.
Hi, sorry I'm late. Had to pick up milk from the store on the way here.
Oh,
that's
no worries. Right. So how you feeling about that, Bright? I can't imagine you're probably too thrilled with it.
Nothing went right. Hey, I didn't miss slime climb this time. That's the upside.
Yeah. Hey, you had some things that did go pretty well. So I mean, we noticed that it just felt like the things that went wrong for you were basically the things that cost the most time. Which is just unfortunate that happens, but that's what this game does to you. As we said a couple of different times, it's just this game tries to kill you, and there's not a lot you can do about it sometimes.
Exactly.
So,
tell us what was going through your head while you were having some issues with your Bramble Scramble Wrong Warp. What do you think were the problems?
I don't honestly know. That was one of the things I was practicing earlier today, and I was getting it pretty consistently. And then I guess I just did something wrong because I threw squawks once. I got nothing once when I was getting the clashes, and it was like, well, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but something's going wrong.
Yeah, getting nothing to happen there I thought was a little odd. I don't know that nothing happened. It's almost always the squawks throw.
If you get nothing, that means that your IDs were definitely very wrong.
Yes, they most certainly were.
Very wrong.
I was impressed by the way you were able to kind of continue playing after that. You didn't. You went right in. You got through Mudhole. Had the no trouble with the Mudhole Wrong Warp. Good choice on the Dixie setup too. And then I think you went pretty smoothly up until Web Woods, if I remember right.
Yeah, I died twice back to back in Web Woods because I couldn't get a web to spawn, I think, or I just didn't hit the buttons at the right time, so I fell to my death. And then a second time, I just shot 2 web platforms, and neither of them became solid. So
what I like to say about Web Woods is sometimes the platforms just don't want to platform.
Ironic in a platforming game.
Yes, they don't like you. And then I think the next big thing that went wrong was probably Castle Crush, where it looked like you were trying to just run around with the barrel. Was that what was going on there, or was it something else?
I was messing around just a little, and then I accidentally threw Dixie left instead of right, and I'm like, well, this is not going to end well.
No fun. It's not a fun. Don't try to have fun with this game. It's not a good idea.
And then I mashed right back into the level, so that was obviously not the right thing to do. So.
Yep, I noticed that. I've done that plenty of times myself. Is because when you have that happen and you just feel, oh my gosh, it's a speed run. I screwed up. I need to keep going. You're not even thinking about the fact that you actually need to go get another Kong before you can come back. So that's a very common and easy mistake to make, especially in a race setting when you've got a lot of nerves and adrenaline and you know people are watching. It's really easy to just do things that normally you wouldn't. But hey, all the same, well done. You've got D-Sky in the next round, so you're one of the few lower bracket matchups that's actually set. So that should be exciting because you got a 47, I think, in your first round, and I think D-Sky was pretty close to that as well. He had a 51.02. Okay, so I mean, you guys could have a good race going there in the first, in the second round. So definitely don't count yourself out of it.
No, D-Sky was the victim of an upset, so it seems like he's out for blood.
Well, I'll try my best.
Yep, keep at it, man. Keep at it.
At the end of the day, that's all we want. It's like I was saying earlier. I've yet to be disappointed by any of the races that I've seen or commentated on. This has been, so far, a resounding success.
Great.
Yep, it's all for fun. That's the only reason I'm really here. Because I want to have fun.
Yep.
Well, Kipples really wants that car that goes for the first place of the tournament, and I'm really gunning for that platter of meat for the second place. Being a chef, I can do a lot with that.
Yes,
so
you could. In that case, I want you to get the platter of meat also, because that would be delicious.
Well, I never said I'd share it, so
rude,
Dustin.
Of course, I'd share it. You guys are my friends.
All right, everybody, but I think that does it for us. I'm not sure. Yeah, Feast is pretty happy with everything up till that Screech death, as we thought he wouldn't be too pleased with. But
right.
All the same, everyone, I think that certainly does it for me. Dustin, anything else you want to say, Bright?
No, I'm good. Everybody have a nice night.
Yeah. Thank you for the race. Thank you for the time. Definitely enjoyed it.
Yes, and thank you for the commentary, Antilles. It was an honor to share the chair with you.
A pleasure. A pleasure. We'll do it again.
I hope so. I really do.
Yep. Take care, guys.
Right. So from everybody from twitch.tv/speedgaming, thank you very much for watching. We will be back. I'm going to open the schedule here just to see what we have coming up for the weekend. Saturday we have, starting at 8 o'clock going on until Sunday, we have the Sega Speed Marathon. So you will not be seeing any monkeys on this channel, at least until 8 p.m. Monday nights. We have 8 p.m. Monday night is Void and Parisian Player, I believe, our resident world record holder and resident Link to the Past runner. Parisian Player actually, interestingly, has times on the leaderboard for double speed categories on emulator.
Interesting.
Right.
It's the French-speaking race, I believe, was what they called it.
Yes.
So we put French commentary in there. That'd be good.
Well, I'd have to bust out my French to English dictionary and my English to French dictionary, but...
You're from Canada.
Yeah, I'm from actually Ottawa, which is the province right next... sorry, it's in the province right next to Void. So
no
we do...
for you?
Oh, it's French for me, yes. I'm bilingual, but not at all to the point where Void will be able to understand what I'm saying.
And then I'm going to be right after that in my race versus Conditioner on Monday night, and
I'm very much looking forward to that.
RPBs are separated by 3 seconds, so I'm curious to see how bad I'll choke.
It's going to be who chokes first race, I think.
Yeah, it very well could be.
But you better win.
I'll do my best. I'd love to, because I'd love to lose to Void the round after that, assuming he gets past Parisian Player.
Right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We're going to close the stream right now, and we'll see you for more donkey action on Monday night. In the meantime, enjoy your Sega Speed Marathon starting tomorrow at 8 a.m., I believe. Tomorrow at 8 a.m., yes. Have a great night, everyone. Or morning, wherever you are.